What's up, guys? It's your girl CNS. For those of you that are new here, that is Chelsea Induler Sandoval. And welcome back to the Made for Simple podcast, where we talk about anything and everything. Jesus, what Jesus is showing me, life, married life, health, friendships, relationships, and everything in between. Okay? Welcome. I am your lovely host, as I have already said that. And you guys, today I do have a confession. We're in March of 2024, and Isaac and I still have our Christmas tree up. Woo! Okay, so we still have our Christmas tree up, and currently, I'm going to be honest with you, there's a present sitting under the tree that is wrapped, and that is Isaac's birthday present. Sue me. So the Christmas tree is up. We just like it because it adds an element to our living space. It gives it decoration. It's giving sparkle. It's giving, I'm looking over here because I'm looking at the Christmas tree right now. It's giving life, sparkle, goodness. And you know what? Who says that we have to take it down in January? Who says that we have to take it down in December? Who says, right? We get to make our own rules with that. So currently it is still up. And I hope that this encourages you and gives you permission to know that if you still have yours up, it's okay. It's okay. But that is my confession for today, and judge me or don't. But don't judge me, because who cares? So welcome back, y'all. It is a lovely, what day is it today? Today's a Thursday. It's a lovely Thursday. We're getting ready to step into a 4-day weekend because Resurrection Sunday is coming up. Tomorrow's Good Friday, and actually Isaac's birthday is on Good Friday, but tomorrow's Good Friday. And then we have Resurrection Sunday, as I like to call it, but y'all be calling it Easter, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. And so I am just really looking forward to this weekend. I really, really am. Today's episode, I wanted to do let's get into a story time. Let's get into a story time. I have two little stories that I want to share with you. I feel like this will help you get to know me better, right? Because if you're going to be coming here every single week, you need to know who is hosting this podcast, right? So I'm going to tell some stories here. Honestly, they're embarrassing stories, but since I've moved on from them, they're not as embarrassing to me anymore. So that's why I'm comfortable sharing it with you, because we can laugh at it together. So 2 stories. Which one do I start with? Let me think. Okay, let's start with freshman year of high school. Sure. Okay. I'm thinking in my head. Let's start with freshman year of high school. So when I was a freshman in high school, I think at this time I'm around you're around 14 or 15 or something like that. And I had a crush on a guy. I mean, typical, right? So I had a crush on this guy. He was on the basketball team. And, you know, I was peeping him from afar or whatever. Like, I thought he was cute at the time. And I was just like, oh my gosh, wow, whatever. And so I, was watching from a distance, thought he was cute, all the things, just really basic things. It's not like I actually really knew him like that, of course. So I had a crush from a distance, and I believe he was a grade older than me. And so I think I had been liking him maybe for a few days, few weeks or something like that. And around this time was Valentine's Day. And so they did this thing at the school that I was going to which they probably do this at a lot of schools now, but they did this thing. I think it was called like balloonograms or like Valentinograms or something along those lines. And so they did this thing where they sold, it could be like a gift basket, it could be balloons, it could be a song. But basically, let me explain it like this. You would go to the people and you could purchase a balloon for someone that you wanted to send a Valentine, or like you could purchase a song and a group of people would come into a classroom and sing that song to them during a class period. And so I don't know who did this to me, but there was this one girl that I knew, and she had convinced me, I think she was, because she was helping to sell these balloonograms and stuff, she had convinced me. She was like, oh girl, like, yes, just do it. Even if you want to be anonymous, just do it, whatever. And so I was like, should I, I was really hesitant about it. But then she was like, no, like, just do it anyway. Like, it's going to be so cute. Trust me, it's going to be so cute. And so mind you, I'm thinking like, oh, maybe I could do it as a little prank, a little joke. And so here's what I do. I go into the offices, and I sign up to send this crush that I had, which one thing about me, none of that. He didn't know, none of that. So I signed up to send this crush a song. And here's where I went wrong. Initially, I put my name on the sheet. Why would I do that? I do not know. I put my name on the sheet, and then as I'm filling it out, I'm starting to think about it like, wait, do I really want to expose who this is going to be? But then the girl was standing right there with me, and she's like, oh, no, like, we're not going to read your name. Don't even worry about it. We're not even going to read your name. Like, just cross it out, whatever. This voice that I'm giving her. She's like, we're not even going to read your name. It's fine. Like, whatever. If you want, just cross it out. So what I do is, after I've written my name down, I reconsider. I'm like, okay, I don't want to put my name down. So I begin to scratch it out. And I scratch my name out, and I think I do a pretty good job of scratching it out, right? I'm like, and then I get it, and it's scratched. And so then I submit it. I'm like, okay, here we go. But it's anonymous, so it'll be cute, and hopefully I'll get to see it. So fast forward, and now it is actually the day, it's actually Valentine's Day, and they are sending out all of the balloonograms and the valograms, or whatever you call it. They're sending them out. And so you're seeing random pop-ups in classrooms with people singing to people, or people handing like balloons or flowers or whatever it is. And so, they have they do it in their classrooms, all that good stuff. Somehow, we're all in the cafeteria. Somehow we are all in the cafeteria. And I say, when I say all, that means pretty much all grade levels. So we got, well, not all grade levels, because we couldn't all fit in there. So it was all freshmen and sophomores were in the cafeteria at the same time. All of them. Okay. Hear me out. All of them. So all freshmen and sophomores were in the cafeteria. Now, if you're listening, then you heard me say that he was in a grade above me. So that means that he was a sophomore. So we're all in the cafeteria, minding our business, having lunch, doing the thing, eating up, great time, good. And then they begin to come in with the valograms. And so they're coming in with the valograms, and people are getting sang to, people are being handed cards or whatever. And it's just like, everyone's looking around the room like, ooh, like, who's gonna get one? And everyone's so excited about it, and they all think it's so cute, and we're like, aw, because like, there are couples that are public, and so like, they're giving each other stuff, and it just is so cute to everyone. And then this is what I hear. Okay, so we're in the cafeteria, and they're doing all that stuff, and then they say, okay, now we have like, they're on the microphone, y'all. So this isn't just that we're in a classroom of like 20 people, and then like it gets introduced or announced to them, which, I mean, I guess rumors could still spread that way anyway. But anyway, we weren't in a classroom. We were in the cafeteria. So they were on a microphone, which means that their voices carried to the entire room. Okay. So she got on the mic. Mind you, this was the girl. Y'all, this was the girl that was like, girl, just do it. It's going to be so cute. Just do it. So this was the girl. She was the announcer. And she gets on the mic and is like, okay, now we have this valogram for such and such. Right? They say his name. And it's supposed to be anonymous. It's supposed to be anonymous. She knew that I wanted it anonymous. My name was scratched out on the paper. Do you hear me? Okay. So she read it out and I sent him a song. I sent him a song and the song will remain nameless. Well, no, it don't matter. Whatever. Because they gave us options of songs to choose. And I just was like, you know what? Okay, Chris Brown with you. Sure. You know, if you know, you know. And so she's like, okay, now we have this for this person and it's going to be a song. And it's like, but the name is scratched out. Let me see. But I can still read through it. Let me see. And it's from Chelsea Induler. When I tell you that my heart dropped, like it sunk. Like, you know, when you go on a roller coaster and you are like, you reach in that drop and you can feel your whole body just drop into it. And it's like, ugh. That's what I felt in the moment. That's what I experienced at that time. I didn't know if I would make it. I didn't. She said my name. All eyes immediately turned to me. And then they turned to him. And then they're looking at him. And then they're looking at me. And then they're looking at him. And then they're looking at me. And it's this back and forth thing. Oh my gosh. I mean, it happened in a matter of seconds, but this is what it feels like. It feels like it's in slow motion for me right now. So it's like all eyes are looking and I'm like, oh, shoot. Why? Just why would you do this to me? You were never for me. You weren't for me. You just wanted to use me. You just wanted to make entertainment out of me. And so everyone's looking and then they begin playing the song on the speakers. Okay. So we're already like at stage from a scale of 1 to 10, we're already at level 10 of embarrassment. Okay. Because this is supposed to be anonymous. He don't even know that I like him. I don't even know if he know that I exist. So we're already at level 10. Okay. So the music starts playing and they let it play. And then y'all, this girl that was on the mic that announced this, she then comes over to me, grabs my hand, and then grabs his hand, and she drags us to one another so that we can start dancing together in front of everybody. I just want to take a moment to pause because I understand how that might make you feel. And I want to give you a second to process. Right. So she drags us together and we are now in this awkward dance. I mean, when I tell you that it was so awkward, y'all, I don't even know how else to explain it. Like and she never really fully let us go. So it was her dragging us together to hold hands and start dancing together while everyone is looking and watching. And we have these awkward smiles on our faces. Like, what is going on? This is really bad. Oh my gosh. And so we endure that for a few minutes. Everyone's looking, laughing, like, oh my gosh. And so after that moment, well, let me say this, the moment finally came to an end, closed, and then they moved on and everyone giggled and did what they needed to do. And she walked off. Oh, happy day for her. And I'm left there wondering how this could ever happen to me. Why I had to be the one to experience this. I'm left there wondering who told me that I needed to do something like this. I thought it was going to be all fun and dandy and roses, but it wasn't. And so long story short, that happened. It was embarrassing. Although I will say we did end up dating for a period after that, a short period, but it wasn't nothing. And it wasn't good anyway. But that's a core memory for me right now. Like that's one of the top embarrassing moments for me. I feel like I don't really have, I don't have too many like And now it's cool because I can laugh about it now and I can share it now. So obviously I'm not still holding on to them, but that was in the moment. Imagine as a 14, 15-year-old, you're thinking that the world is coming to an end. You're thinking that you need to just crawl under a rock. So it's quite heavy during that time. So that happened, but we've moved on, we've grown, and we're doing great now. So that was story number 1. Story number 2, we're pulling it back, or we're pushing it back all the way to elementary school. So I'm in 5th grade, and at this time, I already loved doing like talent shows in the school plays. Like I would always audition. I wouldn't always get the part, but I would audition because I'm tried and true. Okay. So I would audition, and, I was at that point, I had already known that I loved, singing and being a part of the play and all that stuff. And so in 5th grade, I was a part of this group called GT, or Gifted and Talented. If you know, you know. And so I was a part of Gifted and Talented, and we were planning this really fun day. My teacher was planning this really fun day where we were going to do a class talent show. And so there's like 20 of us, when we meet. I wonder if we met like once a week or is like a certain number of times during the week. I can't remember, but there's this talent show, and you have to sign up beforehand to do the show, whatever, to present, to perform. And I signed up, and I was so excited about it. But like, even though you're super excited about it, you also know that you have nerves. And so even at that age, like I was so excited, like, oh, I love when we get to do these things. I love the talent shows. I love this. You're so excited about it, but also I was very nervous. And like leading up to the day, I was also very nervous. And the night before, I had been practicing a specific song that I wanted to sing because it was popular at the time. It was an R&B song. I'm not going to say it. It was an R&B song, and I probably had no business. Just probably had no business listening to it. Whatever. Anyway, so listening to this song, practicing it the night before, and just really trying to nail it, really trying to make sure that when I hit these notes and sing it, that the world is going to be shocked. So really just trying to make sure that I nail it and that I don't mess up. But the night before, as I was rehearsing, there was still a part of the song that was really high for me, but I kept trying to push it because I know like, ooh, I can hit it. I know if I just try, I can hit it. And so I was trying, but I think even in those times, I wasn't necessarily hitting it. Maybe I was like grazing over it, but I was like, you know what? Maybe by tomorrow it'll come to me and I'll just get it. And so it's the day of the talent show now. All day, I am so nervous until we get to this class period. I'm thinking about it. I'm shook. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's coming. And then boom, there it is. So the talent show comes, and we're all in the classroom, and we're going in order. She picks out the order at the beginning of the class. So it's like you're waiting for your name to be called. You're waiting. You're just sitting there. And so there's another girl who is honestly so sweet, and we still are kind of in contact even to this day. But she was also like a singer in that class. She was also a singer in that class, and she also loved to audition for the plays and all the things. And so, she was just singing in the class. And so I believe that everyone else did their talents. I can't remember what everyone did, but then she did her song, and it was great. And then like the whole class was like, yeah. And I'm cheering on to like, oh, that's so good, girl, get it. And then it's my turn. And I go up there, and I'm like taking deep breaths as I'm going up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, we're finna do this. Okay. Just do what you practiced. And so I go up there and I start singing the song. But then as I'm singing, I know that part that I was practicing the night before that I was struggling with was approaching. And when it finally got to that specific part, I did my best, to belt the note and to really reach it and make sure that I got there. And I cracked. I cracked like nobody's business. And I remember stopping in the middle of the song, which now I know, y'all, if there's anything I learned, the show must go on. And I cracked in the middle of the song, and I stopped. stopped. And I remember like I felt I was putting myself down already, like, oh, dang it, in front of people, in front of everybody. And I feel like they were like, no, keep going. So I was like, come on, keep going. And then I'm pretty sure my teacher was like, no, it's okay. Like, keep going. It's okay. Because, you know, in elementary school, they're not really trying to judge you. They're just excited to see your talent. And I just felt so bad. I felt so bad that as soon as my time was over, I went to the restroom and I got into a stall and I started crying. And it was the sweetest thing. It was the sweetest thing because the girl that had sung before me, who was also like the singer in our class, she came to the restroom and she tried to encourage me. And she was like, hey, no, like you did so good. And that was awesome. Which, how sweet is that? Thinking about it now, like elementary school, I appreciate that. And so she came out and she tried to like encourage me and lift me up. And then, you know, I wiped my tears and eventually went on back to the class. But that was a very serious time. And looking back, it's part of my journey. No, I'm kidding. But when you think about it, like in the moment, you're probably thinking like, oh my gosh, I don't even know how I'm going to get through this. And now several years later, you know what? I've still cracked. I've cracked many of times. But you know what? I'm still growing and it's still part of the journey. So if there's anything that I've learned from these two stories, number one, actually, what have I learned? Let me take a second to ask myself. I have learned not to do something just because somebody else says to do it. If everyone else is jumping off a bridge, do I need to jump off a bridge? No. So just because that one girl was encouraging me to do this little valogram and to put my name down and to do XYZ, And also, not everybody is for you. So just because she was like, yeah, girl, just cross your name out and your name won't be said, but she's the very one that said it, not everyone is for you. That's two lessons that I learned from that story. One lesson that I learned from the other one in 5th grade is to keep going. Keep going. It's okay. You don't have to stop in the middle. And I will forever treasure that and forever carry those lessons for the rest of my life. So those are the two stories that I have for today. I hope they were entertaining for you. I hope that you also learned some lessons from me in that. And yep. That's all I have for today. Thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. Honestly, maybe DM me, share an embarrassing story, or share a story of your own with me. Maybe drop it in the Spotify comments or Q&A box and let me know what you think. Let me know if you've had similar experiences before, because I would love to laugh with you, not at you. So thank you guys so much for listening and for tuning in to today's episode. I hope you have a great day and a great rest of your week, and I'll see y'all in another one. Peace.